Hello, leaders. Thanks for watching our last weekly Connect for September. So this week we are going to be teaching about Isaac. So our main teaching is from Genesis 26, and the main point we're getting across to the kids is even if they think they're leading a pretty ordinary life, nobody is ordinary because God made each and every one of us unique. And I just realized, looks like I have a dead body floating behind me, but look, it's a swimmer, and I put shorts on him. I wanted you guys to see he is now clothed in the swimming room. So check out the swimming room. We have clothes on our swimmers. Anyways, we are learning about Isaac, Genesis 26, and we're going to be teaching the kids that every life is unique. Every person is unique. And even if they feel like they are kind of boring, kind of blah, when we learn about Isaac, we're going to learn how God was able to fulfill his covenant promise to Abraham through Isaac, even though Isaac didn't have any big, huge, major things that happened, like some of our other Bible story characters, but he still was a part of God's big story and was a very intricate and important part. So when the kids come in, they're going to be making bracelets at first. We're going to start off with this because you may need extra time at the end after story as well. So we're going to start off with it. And each kid will have a little bag of beads. It has the cord in there, and it has instructions in there as well. So in order to save time, and because I don't need to read instructions to all of you wise people, I'm going to show you that. So I made this. So it says, be unique. Each of them, some of them say be unique, be fabulous, be beautiful. It's super cute. And the kids are going to start these off, but I'm not going to show you how to do this. It's really simple. There's beads. You just put the cord through it, but I am going to give you a helpful tip that I have learned from my various years of doing beadwork with children. So this is how you're going to want to start your beads, and this is how you're going to want to end your beads, okay? So when you first put your bead on, you're going to do this exact same thing. I, of course, am just showing you at the end, but I want you to know that at the beginning I did the same thing. So your last bead is going on, so you obviously put it through the cord, just like that, so it's in there. Now you're going to want to take the cord, and you're going to circle back around and put it through. I hope you can see this with my big hands, and put it back through. Now your bead is secure here. It can't move. It's stuck, and it can't move around. That is helpful because now when the kids stand up, if their bracelet comes untied or anything like that, this bead will stop them from all tumbling on the ground, because this cord is super easy to get beads on, which makes it super easy to get the beads off as well. So make sure to tie that around. You're going to loop it just like that. I hope you can see it. So it's looped up like that. Then after you do that, you're going to pull the cord out just a little bit more. It's stretchy, so it's super easy. Wrap it around your finger or however you want to tie a knot, kind of like how you would tie a balloon knot. And just put another knot on it, moving it as close to that last bead as possible. This will just give it a little extra security so that knot doesn't come undone. If the knot comes undone, you still have a little security by the bead being through there, and hopefully that will keep all the beads from falling all over your floor. Now remember, do it at the beginning and do it at the end, okay? That's the only help I'm going to give you. Obviously, then you'll tie this together. The kids can put it on however they want or use it as a bookmark however they want to do it. Super cute craft, really easy, but if you don't tie those on correctly, you will be really sad because you'll be picking up beads all over your floor for the rest of the hour. Also, if you have glue, or if you just want to, what I'm going to do is just tell the kids, if you're worried about that coming undone, or if it keeps seeming like after you get it home it keeps coming undone, you can just take a little bit of glue, put it on your fingers, and just glue that last knot, and that should keep it on there too. So however you want to do that with your kids. I won't explain how to bead for you, but I know that sometimes those helpful hints are helpful. That's probably why they're called helpful hints. Anyways, after you're finished with your bracelets, or when it's time to go into story time, you'll just move right into story time, and you will do your connect question, which is, what is the most extraordinary thing you do? Come up with one for yourself as well. What's the most extraordinary thing you do? And share it with the kids and help them to talk a little bit together about get to know each other. It's a fellowship time, and it's a time for them to get the ants out when they're sitting down in the story room for the very beginning. Then after you pull the kids back together, if you are telling the story this week, your story, like I said, is in Genesis 26. We're going to be talking about some pretty cool things that Isaac did, but nothing so spectacular. It's kind of just, he's just living his life, and we have two little stories from there. It's going to talk about how Abraham and Sarah had died at this point. They'd left everything to Isaac. Isaac was just living his life just like a normal guy. He married a very beautiful woman. We talk a little bit about his mistake that he made with Rebekah when he told the lie that she was his sister because he was afraid. I'm talking about how we're afraid sometimes too, so we're just normal people. Isaac was normal. He had fear. We had fear. The difference was that Isaac trusted in the Lord most of the time. He was faithful, and he obeyed what the Lord had told him to do. He did what the Lord told him to do. And as we find out by the end of our story, after we talk about the wells that Isaac continued to dig to bring water to the people during the famine, and then when people would start trouble with him, he would just move on to the next place and build another well and just move on. There was never any fighting for him. He wasn't super duper brave. He wasn't a warrior. That's not what God had called him to do. He was a very peaceful man, and he would just do build his well. When they complained or said that it was theirs, he would just move on to the next place. However, we find out in our story, and this is the point we really want to get across to the kiddos, is that people were watching him. People were watching him whether he was doing these huge, extraordinary things or whether he was just doing these little things. They were watching him every day. And because they were watching him, they found that he was faithful to God and that he was doing exactly as God had asked him to do. And they noticed this, and they decided they wanted to be more like him, and they knew he was truly a person of the Lord. And he changed a lot of people's life just by his actions, whether they were easy, big actions, little actions, whatever. He changed people's lives. So that's the point we want to get across to the kiddos, that people are watching them, and as Christians, they need to walk that Christian way. They need to be faithful. People are watching them, and who knows whose lives they will change by the way they are acting. All right, so you'll go right into worship and offering. Then you'll move to your blessing. Your blessing is from 1 Peter 2:9. And it reads as follows: "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. May you all go out into the world knowing that you are extraordinary in God's sight. He has many plans for you, and may you use your talents that God has given to you to shine God's light bright in this world, this week and forever." So then you'll break back into your small groups. You're going to be doing your review questions, but we have some balloons in your room. So if you're finished with the bracelets, those who are finished, you can just set up a little volleyball court, a little miniature volleyball court in your room. You have some questions in there that you can ask the kiddos. Blow up your balloon and have them play volleyball. So the idea is they're going to be trying to keep the ball up in the air. There's going to be masking tape on the floor. If the ball does happen to fall, whichever side of the court the ball happens to fall on, or the balloon happens to fall on, whichever side it happens to fall on, you then ask that side a question. If they get the question right, play continues. If they get the question wrong, the opposite team wins a point. So you can do point system like that. So however you want to do it, if you want to spice this up, do some other things, I'll put it, you should have extra questions in there. You can play a different game if that works best for your class, if this is too simple, however you want to do it. And then you'll move right into prayer time, and you have some promptings for your prayer as always, and then your Bible work for next week. We're going to be starting our awesome month study of Joseph. So hope this helps you. If you have any concerns or questions, just contact your campus supervisor and they can help you out. If you have any prayer requests, I would love to hear from them. You can just email them to me and I'd love to pray for you, or you can give those to your campus coordinator as well, and we would love to pray for you. So thank you. God bless. Have a great week, and happy teaching this weekend. Thanks so much.